When we try to picture the true nature of reality, we almost always default to one of two extreme metaphors. We imagine floating through a cold, empty vacuum of dead space, or living inside a giant metallic server rack running a sterile binary simulation. These computational models struggle to explain a crucial piece of the puzzle: how human perception actually interacts with the physical world around us. Evidence for a different structure is emerging from extended-state DMT research, where clinical data is challenging our standard view of hallucinations. When subjects cross a specific neurochemical threshold, they describe deep ontological shock. Across thousands of independent trials, patients consistently report arriving in a highly stable, deeply geometric environment they call the waiting room. A universally reported stable architectural lobby behaves more like a physical threshold than a random chemical misfire. This suggests human awareness is colliding with a hidden structural boundary. This anomaly aligns with observer condition cosmology, which posits that the universe acts as a perspective engine rather than a pre-existing physical box. In this system, space, time, and matter function as a rendering layer, the literal dashboard of a massive interface that assembles itself around the observer. The DMT molecule acts as a perceptual tuning fork, briefly shifting the human brain to detect a frequency layer that is normally invisible. By retuning that receiver, the molecule allows a person to temporarily bypass the rendered dashboard of daily life and directly observe the mechanical enclosure of the system. This consistency provides our first clinical look into the cosmic control room. Humanity's oldest civilizations mapped this exact perceptual boundary thousands of years ago, using a vocabulary that we are only now beginning to decode. These sacred texts act as mnemonic operating manuals, highly compressed, zipped files of cosmological data designed to survive the erosion of history. Beneath the various cultural costumes, these traditions describe the exact same structure: a strictly bounded, heavily managed enclosure known as the cosmic egg. This model depicts our reality as a protected system housing a massive circulating electromagnetic torus field. Energy flows up through a central vertical pillar and wraps back down around the outer boundaries of the shell. This architecture breathes. As the torus field expands, higher frequencies pour in, creating golden ages of openness. When it contracts, the boundaries tighten, and heavier survival-based frequencies dominate the globe. Global breakdowns and systemic shifts are the visible results of the shell inhaling and exhaling. We are watching the incubator shift its weight behind the scenes. The task-oriented entities reported in DMT trials mirror the ancient boundary intelligences described by the Egyptians and Greeks, beings tasked with managing the interface layers. The Egyptian deity Thoth represented a functional celestial job title. His role was to manage borders, record transit, and serve as a messenger between layers of the field. This logic applies to the entire sky map. The ancients viewed the planets as a corporate org chart, a highly structured celestial bureaucracy managing the stagecraft of Earth. These administrative offices govern the stage through frequency governance. When the office of Saturn broadcasts a signal of restriction, you might perceive it as a sudden crushing deadline or a wall in your career. We interpret these incoming signals as our own organic thoughts. If our minds primarily function as receivers for this cosmic weather, then our daily impulses are often reactions to a global broadcast. We are actors identifying so fiercely with the character's script that we lose sight of the stage itself. Modern internet narratives often look at this enclosure and assume it is a malevolent prison planet designed to trap humanity and harvest our energy. However, ancient sky charts suggest a different purpose. Containment is a feature of development, and these maps clearly identify intentional transit routes along the perimeter. Astrological checkpoints like the gates of Cancer and Capricorn were explicitly designated as liminal doors. They served as scheduled routes for a soul's entry into matter and its eventual ascent back out. A system designed as a penitentiary would not include perfectly scheduled two-way transit doors for its inmates. The boundary layer exists to manage the transit process. It is a developmental safeguard, protecting the growth happening inside. The cosmic egg model describes a highly engineered developmental incubator for consciousness. The shell acts as a filter. It steps down raw cosmic frequencies that would otherwise tear a localized, unprepared human awareness apart. Liberation within this framework involves signal separation, the ability to identify the various cosmic frequencies entering your personal field without reacting to them. Signal separation allows you to observe the administrative scripts hitting your receiver while remaining detached. You learn to read the dashboard without being consumed by the weather. Reality is a beautifully managed theatrical production, built specifically for the evolution of the observer. Which leaves one question. If your life is a scripted role,